Hi, in today's session, we're going to talk about Datasphere command line interface tools. We're going to look at the installation process and understand how to use CLI to automate certain administrative tasks. Generally, CLI is used to automate actions that are repetitive in nature. For example, in Datasphere, DB users password reset is an action that can be done periodically, and this is going to be a repetitive action for many number of users in the system. By using command line interface, we can automate this process by keeping the instruction in a program and call the program periodically. There are more examples to showcase the uses of CLI tools in Datasphere. But before that, we're going to start with installation process. So I'm going to switch to my notes. So we will go through these steps in this session in detail. So the first one is to install the Node.js. So Node.js is required in order to install Datasphere CLI. So we install Node.js if it is not installed on your machine. So download NVM from this URL and then install Node.js latest version. Once the Node.js is installed, we can access command line tools, go to CMD, and then type in node v. So this is going to get you the latest version that is installed on your machine. And then the next step is to install Datasphere CLI. So for that, you got the command here, just copy it and paste it. So paste it here. So this is going to install the Datasphere CLI on your machine. Since I already installed, I'm not going to run it, but it's going to take a few minutes to run it. So once that is installed, you can come back and access Datasphere command to display the install version. So now I get this as 2025-8 as the installed version of Datasphere. Once you have installed the Datasphere CLI, and then the next thing is to create OAuth client ID in Datasphere application so that you get the credentials to access Datasphere system. So you're going to set up another client ID. So in the past sessions, we created OAuth clients for OData API connectivity. And now we're going to create another client ID and secret for accessing in CLI tools. So switching to Datasphere system and then go to that administration, access the OAuth client ID creation process from app integration. Just create a new OAuth client and keep it interactive usage and get the redirect URI to your local host machine. So I already created one. You just can take a look at this one by opening it. Interactive usage is the purpose and grant is code. Redirect URI is going to be 8080 port on my local machine. So I'm going to use these credentials to connect to the Datasphere system using command line tools. So I'm going to go to the command line tools and then prepare login statement or command, you can say. Just do that, and then it's going to connect to the Datasphere application with the credentials that I've provided here. So it's not going to return anything, but it's just giving my folder path back. That means it's connected. I can check the connectivity by typing in Datasphere users list. So this is going to get me to the system and then display the users in this particular application. So I got a couple of users that I created and also some system users that with blank values. So with that, I confirm that I am able to connect to the Datasphere application and retrieve the information. Switching back to the steps, optionally, you can install Python. This is to keep your instructions or the commands in a program and call the program in CLI. Once it is done, we ran some tests in CLI by typing in users list, or you can also type in spaces list to see how many spaces And also you can display the objects in that particular space, any particular space. Yeah, you can do interactive usage of Datasphere application in CMD. And then now I'm going to prepare a Python program to keep some instructions in or commands in that program and call that program. So my program can have loop to process the information that I retrieve from Datasphere application. And then it can also have certain actions that can trigger an activity in Datasphere. So we're going to look at those two examples in or by writing a program in Python code. I'm going to access an IDE for that. So you can use Visual Studio Code Editor or PyCharm or anything that you're comfortable with. So I'm starting with an IDE that I have on my machine. So I'm going to start with listing spaces program. So basically I define a function and then I am hard coding all the credentials that I require to access Datasphere application, just host, client ID, secret, and authorization URL. And then I prepare a command that is going to be used to set these database user credentials, Datasphere user credentials, so that I get the access to the application. And then I use subprocess module to run the command, to run the shell command that is external to this program. With the connectivity, and I ran the command that's going to be logging into the Datasphere application. And then I'm going to prepare another command once I log into the Datasphere application. So I wanted to say Datasphere spaces list and put it in a JSON format. So what it is going to do, it's going to run this command just like the way I ran it in CMD when I call this program, and the result will be passed to this object. And then I can just loop the result to split the line in multiple rows so that I can see that better. So this is the program, and it's just simple program. It's nothing really use case to show you, but simple one to start with. So just say execute. Once you execute this program externally, it's going to connect to my Datasphere application and run the command spaces list and display the spaces in JSON format, and then it's going to be each value in different line. It's a simple action that I've done. I can export this to an external file also, but in this use case, I just wanted to show you how it is going to run. I can call this program in CMD tool. The way I can call this program in CMD is going to be giving the command Python. A prerequisite is you must have Python installed on your machine, and then keep the program name. That's going to be list spaces.py. List spaces.py. So this is an error. There's an error because I'm not in, my file is not in the directory that I am. So I will have to keep the file in that directory where I access my CMD, or switch to the directory where this file is located. I can get the directory by going into my program and then just say copy path, and then I get the absolute path here. So I will come back to CMD and then change my directory to that path. And then now I can run the Python command to call the program. It's going to be list and spaces.py. It's going to run the program, and it's will execute the command, and the executing command will give me the list of spaces inside Datasphere application. So this is the result. Now in the next example, what we're going to do, we will initiate an action that needs to be performed in Datasphere, like creating an user, or creating a set of users from a file, or creating a or resetting a DB user's passwords and put it in an external file and send those files to the users. So some of these use cases can be done using Python script. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new JSON file that contains the users list. I'm going to create a couple of users, test user and test user 1 and 2 with test email address. And then I will input this file to create the users. So we'll switch to Python program. And there's another program that I created for user creation. The same process. I don't have to explicitly maintain the ID secret here. Instead, I can put them in a separate JSON file and use that file as a reference to connect. For the simple test, I'm using it directly here, but it's not a good practice to keep the secret and ID directly in the program. This time, the command here is different. It's a Datasphere users create and then file path. I'm going to put the user creation.json. So this command is different. It's going to create users based on the file that is placed in the path. So I can run the program from here, or I can call this program in CLI. So I can call this program in CLI just to see what is the output of it. So make sure you don't have these two IDs created in my Datasphere application. Going to the security users, and I just have these two users. So we'll switch to the CMD. That's going to be, I can access and then run Python and call the program user creation.py. Okay, and this is going to create two users in Datasphere system with the details that I provided. So it's user 1 and user 2 are created. So I can go to my application and see the new users got created here. You can still do user creation by importing the file. You can, I mean to say, you can create a mass user creation by uploading your file. At the same time, you can put it in a JSON file and then run through with a script to put it into the system. But there is another activity that cannot be done using user interface, like DB users from space. So if you are accessing the space from space management, DB user creation process is manual and it has to be created one by one. There is no user interface activity to do an upload functionality. So in those cases, resetting the password and generating a file for the reset passwords and sending them to users is going to be really difficult task. So for that, CLI is going to be useful to run the script and automate this activity. This is what I'm saying. In database access, you have the option just to create and reset one at a time, not for many records or many users at a time. You can call the actions from PowerShell also. Whatever the shell script availability that you have, you can use it on your machine. There could be more use cases that you can identify from the documentation. This is a help page for command line usage. You will understand the commands and get the information from the system and then repeat or process it using loops or conditions, and then prepare an activity to happen in the system. That's all I have for this today's session. For detailed training on Datasphere and Business Data Cloud, please reach out to me at surampallys@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye for now.